Here are 10 things that motherhood has taught me. Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here. I have been wanting to record this video for such a long time, but I really hadn't had the time to do that. However, I decided to just put it on my schedule and really prioritize it. So here we are now. Now, disclaimer, I will say this is a lengthier, more chatty video, which means that if you just want to lay back in your bed or you just want to chill with a drink, go ahead and do so. Or if you're a mama like me and you just love to press play on those YouTube videos and then get everything that you need to get done, like laundry, washing dishes, and doing some cleaning, go ahead and do so as well. Now let's get on to the video. Even though I have these 10 things numbered, none of them really are in particular order, if you know what I mean. Number 1, unconditional love. I always heard my mom tell me, I love you unconditionally, and I've always heard so many moms say, the love that you have for your children is unconditional, but obviously I didn't know what that truly meant. And if you are a girly who aspires to be a mother, let me tell you, you don't know what the definition of unconditional love is. Respectfully, I'm not meaning that in a mean way, but until you have children, you will understand that meaning. You will understand that affection. You're going to understand that type of love. Because see, the unconditional love that I have for my children, it doesn't depend on what mood I'm in. It doesn't depend on my energy levels. It doesn't depend on whether I feel sad or mad, whether I'm sick, whether I'm not feeling good, whether I have a village or not, and take care of my children. And it also gives me just a small little glimpse of the way Jesus loves us. That just shocks me, the way Jesus loves us. We don't even have to have a relationship with Jesus for him to love us. Number 2, setting boundaries. But I am Hispanic, so growing up in a Hispanic household, being in a family that's everyone is Hispanic, talking about boundaries was something that really nobody talked about. And so when I grew up, I started to realize that boundaries were actually important. I grew up with people telling me like, oh, it's okay, just let it go. Oh, it's okay, just let it slide. I didn't really put so much emphasis and importance on that. However, when I had my daughter on my chest, that's when I realized how important boundaries were. So let me just give you a small little example. Me and my husband talked about the boundaries that we wanted with our children. And with Juliet, she is my oldest daughter. She's actually only 2, but she's still the oldest. Juliet, and even with my son now, Julius, one of the boundaries that we have is that no one, including us, gets to upload photos of them crying. We kind of just kept that between us until someone uploaded a photo of Juliet crying when she was only like 6 months or so. But because we hadn't voiced it, we didn't get mad at this person, but we did voice to her like, hey, we really appreciate that you have love towards our daughter, towards Juliet, but we just would like for you to take that photo down of her crying. And I could tell it kind of bothered them, but however, they did take that picture down. Now fast forward to when she turned a year old, that same person uploaded another picture of her face, of Juliet's face, crying. And that's when we were a little more tough with the way we worded things on that text message. And again, that person did get mad and it was a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, but regardless, I'm gonna speak up for my children because they can't speak up for themselves. So I have to. Me and my husband have to. So if you're a mom and you're like, oh, I just feel shy, I will feel bad. Look, girl, everybody around us is an adult. Your child is a child and nobody's gonna speak up for your child but you. Number 3, being realistic. I'm not gonna lie, this was a little bit tough for me because obviously before you have kids, you kind of just get up and go and do whatever you want. If you're like me and my husband, we have a routine, we have a schedule, we like to follow it. It's not like that no more. Not really, because I'm like, oh, the kids, I don't like to make them sound as a burden. My kids are not a burden. My kids are a blessing. But we do have schedules and we do have routines that we like for them to follow. And specifically with Juliet, when she was born, since Since the moment this girl was born, she was literally born with colics. I mean, she would cry 5 to 6 hours straight. And I'm not being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. She would cry from 5 to 6 hours straight, non-stop. I mean, she would wake up every hour and a half or every 2 hours crying. We were running on little to no sleep. And so when people would invite us over and we would say like, we unfortunately can't, like we cannot go out. Why? Because we know that once she would start crying, it was not stop. It was really difficult to get her to stop because she was in pain. Now, before anybody comments on there and tells me, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, let me just say, I've heard about all of that. We did try everything. When I mean everything, I mean we tried organic 100%. We also tried medication. We tried different formulas. I tried changing my diet. Nothing worked, okay? Anyways, these colics went away till she was like 8 months. So we had to be realistic in, hey, we can't just go out to a restaurant and just take our time, and we can't just go out with our friends as much as we want to, and we can't just go out after church as much as we would like to, because if she starts crying, it's gonna make us stressed out, which is gonna make everybody else stressed out, which is just gonna, it's just not realistic. It wasn't realistic. So it taught me and my husband to be realistic. Number 4, patience. If you know me before I had a child, you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. I had 0 to no patience, and I'm not being dramatic. I'm being so serious. And my parents know. But once I had my daughter, it really taught me that. I think Jesus was like, here you go. You don't want to learn patience? Here's a baby with colics, with extreme colics at that. But yeah, patience. I'm not saying I have perfected patience. My husband, on the other hand, I'm like, baby, give me some of the patience. But I've done so much better. And you know what? I'm proud of myself for that. I'm very proud of myself. Number 5, slowing down. I remember before I had my children, before I had my daughter, I used to always be looking at the calendar, ooh, what events are happening, and then if there was an event, it was always like, let me count the days, let me count down how many hours. I kid you not, I literally had like an app on my phone where it would tell me like the days, the hours, the minutes, and seconds to an event. I'm not being dramatic, like Lord knows I'm saying the truth. And now I'm like, you know what, I don't even, the further the event, the better, because what's the rush? If you think that time goes by fast, when you have children, time just goes by 10 times faster. And it's such a bittersweet feeling, which this one connects to my next one, which is enjoying every single little thing. Literally every single little thing. I've learned to really enjoy the times when we're at church and Juliet's being very fussy. She's just not having it. To be honest, Juliet does pretty well at church. I'm not going to tell you she sits there and listens like an adult. Obviously, she's a toddler. She is in her prime. That girl is in her toddler era, okay? She does pretty good overall. Like, we take her juice, we take her some little toys, some books, stuff like that, and she'll like sit down on the floor and she'll just like play. However, there are some days where she just does not want to be there. She wants to be walking and running, and she wants to be loud, and I've learned to be okay with that. I've learned to enjoy those moments, because one day she's not going to want to sit there anymore. She's going to want to sit with her friends. And one day I'm going to be sitting in that pew, looking at the young lady next to me, going through motherhood and saying, I wish I had my baby here. So I really, really learned to appreciate those moments. Even with Julius, like Julius is such a good baby. Like that boy is, I feel like just like, girl, you had it. You went through it with Juliet. So here's like a little calm baby. Julius is so chill and so calm. But he has had a few days where like he's just so loud of just laughing that we have to kind of get up and go towards the back at church. And to enjoy those moments. Because the important part is that you made it to church. The important part is that your children saw you go to church. It's taught me to enjoy their little tiny hands. It's taught me to enjoy the days where, oh all Juliet wants to do is cuddle. It's taught me to enjoy literally every single thing, y'all. I'm not kidding. And I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed to have such an amazing husband and such amazing kids. Number 7, priorities. It's taught me that not everything needs my attention right away. It's taught me to even prioritize the things in my own home. So before children, I wanted to get everything done that same day. But now that I have children, it's like, okay, what can I do right now? And then what can I do tomorrow? And then what can I do next week? Because not everything needs your attention in that very moment. Number 8, taking care of myself. And I am so huge on this one. I mean, I can make a whole YouTube video about this one. If you know me, then you know that my birth with my daughter was extremely traumatizing. I was in labor for 72 hours. And just to give you a little glimpse of what that looked like, I had 3 failed epidurals. I pushed for 3 hours and a half. I got 13 stitches and so much more. If you want a YouTube video about that, let me know in the comments down below. I knew I was supposed to be taking care of my body before, but now I'm like, I really gotta take care of my body because it's not just me or my husband anymore, it's my children. Like, I know that the Lord is the one who decides when we take our last breath, but that doesn't mean that you get to not prioritize your health. That does not mean that you get to just YOLO it and be like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, I'm gonna like not care about my weight. And I know that can be a little triggering to someone, and I really don't mean it that way, but we really gotta be good stewards of the body that the Lord has given us. I would always hear growing up so many moms saying, oh my goodness, I'm running, and I still do. I still hear moms to this day say, I'm always running on an empty cup, I'm always exhausted, I can never get a break, I'm always tired. And it's like, I understand that because yes, as a mother, you do get tired. I'm not gonna say life is perfect. However, why would you always wanna be running empty to the best part of your life? My children are the best thing in my life, okay? So why would I always run on empty for them? Why do I always want to be in a bad mood if I'm going to be pouring into them? Why do I always want to be insecure if I'm pouring into them? Especially now that I have a daughter, I don't want to be insecure. If I don't like my weight, I need to do something about it. I need to start working out, I need to eat healthier, I need to drink more water. Hello? Same thing with my son. I want both my son and my daughter to grow up and say, my mom enjoyed being a mom. She took care of herself. And that's not always physically, but that's also mentally and spiritually. Number 9, grace over perfection. This one was also a little hard for me because I feel like I do have that, I want to say, characteristic of being a perfectionist. I like my things to be like to the T. It's taught me to have grace on myself, and if I can get something done, it's not because I don't want to, but because I'm simply giving my time to something else, which is my children. For example, sometimes I have a big to-do list, but sometimes Juliet all wants me to do is cuddle with her or go play with her. And I have to learn that, hey, for today, it's okay. For right now, it's okay for you to leave those dishes in the sink. Laundry is gonna be there tomorrow. Your child is gonna grow up. Do you want your child to grow up and say, my mom never played with me, my mom cared more about the house than she cared about me, than having a relationship with me? No, I don't. So if my daughter, all she wants me to do is cuddle with her, and now my son, all he wants me to do is sometimes carry him, that's what I'm gonna do. Other things can wait. And if that means that I have to stay up a little later to clean, to wash the dishes, I'm gonna do that. That's okay. I'm okay sacrificing some sleep to enjoy my time with my children. And I'm so thankful for my husband, because my husband has never came home and be like, oh, well, you didn't do this. Oh, well, you don't do that. No, my husband is the most amazing husband ever. He's always cheering me on. I'm getting emotional. I truly love my husband. If there are any ladies who are single, watching this, get you a godly man. Get you one that has the Holy Ghost. Wait on the Lord, don't rush it. Because one day, the guy who you marry is going to become a father. And your postpartum can either be really good or really bad, depending on the type of husband that you have. Even though mine was extremely traumatizing, even the healing, my husband saw me and he loved me and he cared for me. Number 10, humility. Oh baby, when I tell you motherhood will humble you, I mean motherhood will humble you. I remember one day we were at church and Juliet started to not feeling well and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. I mean, we were so close to just taking her to the ER because it was really, really bad. And I remember carrying her, and at this time she had colics. Anything we gave her, anything we did, nothing stopped her. We just kind of really have to deal with it. And I remember this one girl came up to me and she was like, "What's wrong with her?" And I go, "I don't know." And because truly, like, that's motherhood. Sometimes you just don't know and you gotta figure it out. I don't know. And she's like, "She's your daughter and you don't know what's wrong with her." Sis, like, I forgive you for what you just said. But yes, motherhood will humble you. It has taught me that I, in fact, need, emphasis on need, highlighted, bold, italic, everything, circle it. I need a relationship with Jesus. I cannot do this on my own, and that's okay. Motherhood was not meant to be done on your own, and I'm thankful for Jesus. I really am so thankful for Jesus, because sometimes Julia would be doing things and I'm just like, "Lord, I love you. I love you, Jesus. I love you. I love you, Jesus. And I love my children." And I'm so blessed because she's healthy. Well, these are some of the things, believe it or not, that motherhood has taught me. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to hear my birth story, my traumatic birth story with Juliet, let me know in the comments down below too, because I used to not be able to talk about it because of how traumatic it was. But I think I'm good. I might cry, I might sob a little, but that's okay. That's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all are amazing. Love ya.